Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Focus Vandalia. We are back on the air after a brief hiatus, and we're happy to be here. Today we are coming to you from the Vandalia Recreation Center. Now, this is a facility that's been closed since March as we've dealt with this COVID-19 coronavirus crisis. So we're about to find out, after new guidelines were released by the state of Ohio, the Recreation Center is once again open for business. Tuesday of last week, the Vandalia Recreation Center reopened for members and Vandalia residents after 10 long weeks, as we all stayed home with hopes of flattening the curve in the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Facility manager Alicia McCracken says she and her staff have made cleaning a top priority.
We've added cleaning staff to our schedules, so they are hitting all the high surface areas. Our fitness staff won't leave the desk without a cleaning bottle in their hand, so making sure our equipment is clean for people that come in to use the fitness area. The fitness area has a different look about it. We've removed some machines to promote the social distancing, and so it looks different, but it's really nice and promotes us to be able to clean more efficiently throughout the day.
The center is also giving patrons the tools they need to keep the center clean.
Other things that you might see is we've added additional cleaning for patrons to use. There's wipes that are now available to clean your equipment before and after use is what we're asking. So that's new to the area. They're also located up here on the tracks.
McCracken says the center is opening in phases, with Phase 1 having only the fitness area and track open. Phase 1 does not include water fountains or locker rooms.
It's a high germ area and lots of sanitizing that has to happen. So with the initial phase of us opening and just being the fitness area and the track, we decided to keep those closed for now. As we open up some amenities, you'll see changes with that kind of stuff.
McCracken says her staff has used the mandatory closure to tackle some long-term maintenance and cleaning projects.
From cleaning carpets to windows to deep cleaning of all, areas of the facility. But yes, the gym floor will be bright and shiny, and our goal date is to open June 8th. For the gymnasium. So it'll be a slow start in there, maybe just some group fitness classes, pickleball, and then gaining some momentum to get back into the full swing.
With the center open now for nearly a week, McCracken says the reviews have been quite positive.
Patrons that have visited our center already have seen the great strides that we've taken to, keep it clean and make you feel safe when you walk in the doors. And we've heard nothing but great things, that people are happy that we've taken the extra step to clean. They're happy we spaced out the machines, So we want them to come in here, get some exercise, keep your health, as your number one, but also, feel safe while you're here.
Safety is a primary issue at the Castle Hills Golf Course as well. Managing golf professional Ben Lecklider says the pandemic required a new set of rules.
You must have a tee time. We no longer let walk-ups come in and play. It's also, we don't pair any groups up. Kind of the same lines of the walk-ups coming in. We would find a threesome or a twosome to put them with. We will not do that.
In a move to better promote social distancing, the staff has limited the number of available tee times.
We have spread our tee times out. We used to do every 7-8 minutes. We're now 12 minutes, so 5 an hour, and then later in the day we go to 15 minutes because of carts.
In a small step towards normalcy, the course is once again offering a very limited menu of hot food for hungry golfers.
Hot dogs started on Tuesday. We will slowly increase the food service, seeing what the demand of it is. And we have been on a very limited staff out here the whole time. We will continue to keep a limited staff and try to keep people playing and then leaving.
Among the city departments most impacted by the coronavirus is the Division of Fire, where Fire Chief Chad Follick says standard procedures have changed drastically.
They're going to have safety glasses on, an N95 mask, gloves, and isolation gowns when they're going to be directly involved in patient care or they're going to be moving someone. That may happen. We're still trying to limit the number of responders we put into a residence. And if you can meet us at the front door, we ask that you're still doing that to prevent us from having to go into homes as much as possible. But if you're short of breath and having chest pain, don't get to the front door. Let us come to you. Also, you're going to be provided with a mask. Our hospitals are still asking that all the patients that come into the hospital have masks on. So we'll be providing masks.
Personal protective equipment like the mask, the gowns, and gloves are now the standard tools of the trade. And while some area departments are struggling to keep a stockpile of supplies at the ready, Vandalia's Division of Fire has managed to keep a good supply on hand.
We were in pretty good shape when this all started. We had stockpiled some PPE for our crews through some other events, H1N1, swine flu, things like that. So we had stockpiled some material, so we did have a good deal.
Volek says another major emphasis at the station is keeping things clean.
The stations and the apparatus get thoroughly cleaned and disinfected, deep cleaning, we call that, every morning. And then the station gets deep cleaned and sanitized after every meal. And then the medic units get deep cleaned, sanitized after every response.
Vandalia's Division of Police has also changed procedures to limit the officers' contact with the public while still providing services.
We went to a phone reporting system. So if there was an incident that occurred or an offense that occurred that did not require an officer to physically respond to the scene, that officer would contact the citizen by telephone, obtain the information they needed, and complete the report, and we would still do the follow-up just like we normally would on any offense report. So that helped prevent us from having that interaction that we might normally have on a day-to-day basis.
Other areas of police work were modified somewhat.
We changed a little bit of our patrol tactics as far as we were not as focused on our traffic enforcement. We obviously are still being cognizant of those violations that occurred, and if need be, take that enforcement action, but trying to educate the publics via other means, social media, messaging on various social media platforms and things like that, just to remind people to be safe when they were out driving. We certainly saw a significant decrease in traffic during the last several months. We've also seen a decrease in calls for service, I think, with a lot of people staying home and not being out and about. So that's been a good thing for our community and helped us cope here as the staff with this pandemic that's broke out.
Dispatchers answering 911 calls are working to gather as much information as possible when sending officers to a scene.
There are questions that those dispatchers have begun asking, such as, is anyone in your household experiencing an illness or a fever? Have they been tested? Or are there any positive tests at your household? Those are things that allow them to gain certain information they can pass along to EMS and fire crews or police crews who may be coming to an address for a call for service. Those things I can see being long-term while we're dealing with this pandemic locally.
One constant we've heard throughout the city is the overwhelming amount of support our first responders have received from the community.
We are extremely grateful for all the community support during this time. From cards and letters we have received in the mail to several businesses stopping by, dropping off, whether it be a box of donuts or cookies, to meals being provided by a number of different businesses in town. We are extremely grateful for our community support. And I think it's really helped encourage our public safety staff at this time that with a lot of the restrictions in place, and yet they're still out in the public working each and every day and putting their lives on the line, that it gives them a sense of appreciation, and they really do appreciate all the community support they've received.
We've had cookies and all kinds of cookies, cakes. We've had lunches provided on several occasions, dinners provided, food trucks in the parking lot. We've had donation of masks. We've had donation of masks from one of our companies, Intiva, in the company. We've had a local resident that made about 30 or 40 masks that we pretty much have issued out. We've had people just drop by and drop off Kroger card or for the guys to get groceries. So I mean the support from our community has been overwhelming. When we first started, we were trying to keep everybody out of here and try to keep everybody healthy, and that's still our goal today, is to keep everybody healthy. But as early as yesterday. We had Chick-fil-A here yesterday dropping off lunch. So we appreciate that. The guys appreciate that.
So as we head into the summer, it's safe to say we'll be feeling the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic for the foreseeable future. City staff and all the departments ask your patience and understanding as we navigate an ever-changing landscape of guidelines to determine what services we can offer and under what conditions, which brings us full circle back to the recreation center. With the decision to close Castle Hill Swimming Pool, a lot of people are interested in what's going to happen to the pool here at the recreation center. Well, as you can see right now, this pool is empty, but that's going to change. The decision has already been made to open the pool up sometime this summer. They're shooting for sometime between the 8th of June and the 15th of June to get this open, at least in a first phase, with lap swimming and some of the fitness classes being held here. Phase 2, which will include the recreational swimming, will come later on in the summer. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.